this episode of The Kitchen Warrior. I am Chef Melvin. Today I want to show you how to make an eggplant parmesan dish. This is a real nice dish. One of the first dishes that I learned back in New York City when I was a young man. Let me show you the list of ingredients. Fresh eggplant. We have peeled this and it's almost ½ inch thick. Flat leaf Italian parsley, salt and pepper, chicken powder, ricotta cheese, dry oregano, milk, whole fresh eggs, fresh tomatoes, canned plum tomatoes, sugar, diced onions, about 12 ounces of mozzarella cheese. This is all bread that I pureed, and these are breadcrumbs. You can also use panko if you like. We have some flour. We have a little vegetable oil. First thing we're going to do is that we're going to set up a breading station. So we have flour. Here we're going to put some eggs, 4 eggs right here. We're going to save 1 egg. This egg is going to be added to the ricotta here in a minute. We're going to add a little bit of milk here. And we're going to make a batter. Looks really good. Alright, very good. Next thing we're going to do is that we're going to dip our eggplants into the flour, one by one, just like that. And we're going to dip them into the egg. From the egg to the breadcrumbs. Turn them a couple times, just like that, and to the pan right here. And we'll repeat the same process until we have all of them fully breaded. Alright? So one hand stays dried, one hand deals with the wet right here. Very nice. We put all the eggplants into sheet pans, just like that. What we're going to do, we're going to add a little bit of oil to our eggplants. Just drizzle a little bit over the top, because this will help for them to bake really good. You can also use a brush if you like. You can spray it with a spray bottle. It's in here 10 to 15 minutes. We're going to check them out, make sure that they're perfectly fine. Close it. So we're going to take 1 egg, we're going to crack it open right here. We're going to beat it a little bit. We're going to add ½ an egg right here to our ricotta. About ½ an egg, that's good enough. The other half, we're going to place it right back here with this other egg. This is the one that we use for the breading. What we're going to do here, we're going to mix this really good. This egg is going to help that ricotta cheese coagulate into almost a sheet, which will help hold really well inside our eggplant parmesan, which will have the same concept as a lasagna has. We're also going to add a little bit of salt and pepper right here, my friends, because ricotta cheese does not have too much salt and is very bland. We're going to begin making our sauce for the eggplant parmesan. We're going to take a little bit of vegetable oil. We're going to place a little bit here, and we're going to take these onions and we're going to sweat them a little bit right in there. Very good. In the meantime, we're going to take our tomatoes, we're going to drop them right in here into the blender. We're going to drop the plum tomatoes in there as well. All the plum tomatoes. We're also going to drop a little bit of the sugar. We're going to drop a little bit of the chicken powder, about ½ of it. And we're going to puree this. That's all we want. Alright, so our onions have sweated for a couple of minutes. And we're going to add to this our tomato puree. Add a little bit of fresh tomato to the canned plum tomatoes. And you can also just use a straight up canned tomatoes. But the sauce is important. We put a little extra into it. We're going to mix it a little bit. we're going to add our oregano right into it. Marinara sauce has been simmering for about 5 minutes. As you can see, it's nice and chunky. And we're going to taste it to see if it needs a little bit more salt and pepper or it needs a little bit more sugar. You could probably use a little bit more sugar. So I'm going to add 1 more teaspoon of sugar to it. Maybe a teaspoon and a half. I'm going to mix it up again. I'm going to taste it. We're going to let it cook for another 4 to 5 minutes. Right, our eggplant has been in the oven for 10 minutes. And this is how they look. They have a nice little crust on them and they are fully cooked. I'm going to pull them out. We're going to let these cool down just a little bit before we assemble our eggplant parmesan dish. Right. So now 10 minutes have gone by and our marinara sauce here is looking really good. All we want to do is let a little bit more of the water, the liquid, just evaporate, and that will make our sauce even a little bit nicer. Ready to assemble our eggplant parmesan deep dish. We can add a little bit of oil here to our pan, and we're going to just make sure that we lube the whole entire pan so nothing sticks. Very nicely, just like that. Alright, the next thing we're going to do is that we're going to begin by adding our eggplant slices right here to the bottom. Just like that. At the bottom here, we're going to add a little bit of this egg right along the side. This is the same egg from when we were breading our eggplant. This is going to help it to hold really good. Just like that. Very nicely. So we're going to add a little bit of sauce right here. The sauce. We're going to add a little bit of cheese. We're going to add a little bit of parsley. We're going to repeat this again. Really nice layers. On this layer, we're going to add the ricotta cheese. Spread it nice and thick. Just like that. All of it. Just like that to all the corners. So we're going to add a little bit of mozzarella cheese, a good handful. Add a little bit more of the parsley. Alright. We're going to work another layer. Alright. So here we have 3 layers. We're going to squeeze this down just a little bit. Nicely, just like that. Good squeeze down. We're going to add some tomato sauce right over the top of this. Alright, so take a look at this. Looks really nice. Alright, here's our eggplant parmesan. We're ready to make a single side plate up. And what we're going to do here is that we're going to run our knife along the edges. After the dish has rested for about 20 minutes, we're going to make our cut. We're going to cut it right down the middle with a sharp knife. Just like that. All the way through. We're going to cut it again in half. Dividing things into portions is an art. And we're going to divide that half in half. This is standard, very well used in the kitchen, especially in baking. And here we can decide if we want to make these pieces even smaller. Alright, so we're going to add a little bit of tomato sauce right here at the bottom of the plate. Just a little bit, just all around the edges. Just like that. 1 scoop. Then we're going to find one piece that we like, and we're going to bring it up and out of the pan. And set it right in the middle, just like that. We're going to add a little bit of salt and pepper. We're going to add a little bit of parsley. And we're going to add just another little dab of this tomato sauce right in the center. Just like that. And we're going to add a little bit of olive oil. Just a little drizzle all around. Extra virgin olive oil. Alright. And here is a beautiful eggplant parmesan dish. Bon appetit. I'm Chef Melvin, the Kitchen Warrior. Until next time.